PE at school was not fun for me.
Busy.
No, PE was.
Carry on.
Oh, that was a time. That was a time in my life. It was always the one thing that people would skip and tell me about skipping, and then I'd be like, "Oh no, I don't want to skip it. I don't want detention." And they'd be like, "Haha, you're a." It was always something where I'd just see these I'd see the drug dealers in my year just skipping off up the stairs, up the stairs of the gym, hiding behind some mattresses, and then getting caught and getting thrown off and getting isolation for the rest of it. You get so many people in those changing rooms that were completely insane. You'd have so many fights in the locker rooms,
Whipping.
What, sorry?
Whipping.
Oh yeah, you get that. You get.
I
people...
didn't get that. What? You want to explain?
Oh no.
You with the shirts and you just go.
Yeah.
Bodar.
Oh, so you roll it up and then.
Sure.
We'd have one guy get half naked and then stand like Spider-Man against both walls. Like he'd have both his legs pushed against either side of the wall, and then he'd try and climb up. It's like, dude, you're not Spider. This was in secondary school. We were honestly, I think we were year 10 at this point. It was a time. This guy was insane. But oh my, yeah, I hated every second of it.
Someone apparently got full on pants in our year.
Oh,
wow,
yeah.
I had a guy
jump
who,
down as well.
alright, so how I got changed in the PE changing room. I'd
The
take off my
shower.
top, and then I'd put on my PE top. And then I'd take off my bottoms, and then I'd put on my PE bottoms.
Yeah.
This guy, he takes off his top, and then takes off his bottoms. So he's just in his underwear and socks. And then he puts his... it was just
That's the Breaking Bad way.
respect, but at the same time, why?
Yeah.
Dude, why?
So there's honestly, I have this order of events that would happen over the years of PE. Somehow it got worse. Over the years, PE just got worse.
No, we just stopped trying.
Yeah, honestly. So you start off the mile-long run to determine who would go off overseas to do some race against some insanely speedy dog. So just they're called Bolt.
Yes.
They raced against Bolt the movie. It was a
Bolt,
really
zoom.
No, they get the e-scooters out and see which one wins. But we'd always do that, and then they'd always encourage the kids that were walking like myself to start running.
Yeah,
I mean,
they'd
we're
absolutely they'd have a huge go at you if you're when doing a warm up and you're not running.
Yeah.
They're no, you have to run.
You have to run. It's well, I don't want to go. I don't want to go to wherever it is, funky stadium of Mario Kart to do this do this run. I don't want to go to Coconut Mall and just
Sir, I got maths next. I don't want to be sat in maths next to a girl drenched in sweat and getting shut up, I'm not
Meanwhile,
running.
they're off doing gymnastics, having the best. They used to
inside, they got nice heating.
They got trampolines. They were using trampolines. I was so angry. I was
I used the trampoline. We did
We had trampolines, but it was just for an after school thing.
So we didn't know. It wasn't trampolines, it was springboards.
yeah.
So we go off the springboard, and then we had to do some sort of gymnastic thing. I was really good at it. I really enjoyed it. And I think that's where my stuff for choreography and stunt performing came in.
On the trampoline.
On the trampoline.
The trampoline, that's where it started.
You know those tiny trampolines where the child gets put in a harness and then they jump up and down.
At the fun fairs, right?
I can imagine you at this age in one of those, just
at my age, just in that.
Yeah, just be this is the peak of existence. This is where performing arts comes in.
Yes.
Do you remember cross country?
Yes.
No, please.
I mean, to begin with, I was like, this is death. But then, till year 11 and 10, like we said, don't really try. I had this thing of just bolting at the start, just going for it.
Yeah.
But
get past all the teachers and then they can't complain when you just slow down.
Everyone would just be like, "Ooh." And then me and this other guy would just be like, right. Boom, 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 boom. Go.
It was always that
then,
one.
My name is Barry Allen, and I'm the fastest man alive.
The first, I don't know, probably the first leg is just like this long straight bit, and like you're like, I'm in the lead, and then you get to the end like, oh, I'm tired now. I'm not in the lead.
Yeah, we had at our school, we had like an 800-meter track in a loop.
Yeah.
And this is like, all right, we're gonna do 10 laps of this. I'm like, you want us to do 10?
10.
So there would always be those people at the start. It's like, all right, go, and they'd like bolt it like they're doing the 100-mile dash.
Yeah.
And then they get to like the third lap,
And they're already
just,
tired.
they're dying. They're like crawling their way. Like, me and my friend, I as much as I hated it, I kind of liked those lessons
I
because
liked
it was
running.
like I could just talk to my mate, like lightly jogging the entire time,
Yeah.
just having a conversation with my mate for an hour, and I like that.
Hey, mate, do you want to join a podcast while we run? Just like, here's the
Hey, I was thinking about
microphone.
doing a podcast in about 5 years' time. Oh, yeah, that's-
Story right now.
Yeah.
What we're doing.
Sometimes we were tempted to run the opposite direction.
It was
So
the
everyone
opposite
go off
way
and just
round.
go that way instead. Like, yeah.
See, I never minded the running ones.
Are you in first or in the lead? Catch up and just
Yeah.
sneak in.
Actually, it's
When
not
you
a
meet
bad
someone,
idea.
hey.
I never minded the like running ones. What I hated was football. Like yes, my dad loves football. My cousins love football, and everyone has tried to make me love football, and I can't stand football. And it's just like
I don't get football
so-
either.
Yeah.
I respect it, but then when they trip over, they act as if they've been hit
Yeah,
by
they
a
need.
lorry.
You need if you want to become a professional football player, you need to go for at least 5 years of drama school, so that when you get when someone like tackles you,
'Cause
you
then,
can
like,
pretend it's a foul.
I'd get like a
So,
ball in the
Matt,
face.
Us two, we're like, we've almost got a degree in drama, so we can now.
Nice.
We're really close to becoming professional football players. they took it so seriously at primary school, secondary school.
Primark.
At Primark, they took it at secondary school. They like the sporty people took it so seriously as if they were playing in the finals.
They would get so
Themselves.
vexed if you just messed up slightly.
Yeah. I remember.
So
Childhood bullies, let's go!
No, so,
school stories part 2. Let's go.
oh, this is in year 11 again, and sometimes what we do is like play football. We have everyone, 3 other players on the other team who are like the professionals,
Yeah.
like the ones who actually knew what they're doing. We'd call us Team Syndrome, and
Syndrome.
and we were thinking, should we just build just form a wall in front of the goal? Like what's gonna stop us?
Everyone just stands in the line in the goal, and then they just
But then
back,
what
and
would
then
happen
you
is
can't.
Yeah.
I'd always be put in defence, which was probably my favourite position.
I liked playing
Because you could just a guard tower just intercepts them, trip them up, and then do the.
And then you're
other
off having a
thing.
coffee again. Like, it's
And
so
then,
nice.
There's one time because I was always on the same team. I was like, okay, cool. They know me. They know what I'm like. They were like, "Oi, Matt, tackle him." I'm like, okay, just run up. Try and do a slight tackle.
Do a little
nick
jab.
it.
1,
Yeah.
2, 1, 2, wash on, wash off.
Uppercut. And then this other guy who was probably one of the local drug dealers of the school. Well,
They'd always sell the head teacher as weed.
no, as you do, you have the local drug dealer.
and
We like to incorporate
They
everyone
were
to get their
actually-
GCSEs.
we were actually getting fed up with how the match was going, and then there was just me who wasn't really taking anything seriously, and I just accidentally trip him up. And he's like, "What the hell was that, mate?" Actually,
What was that for?
throwing punches. What do you want me to do? I'm just tackling you. I was doing what I was ordered to do, which is just getting the
Why
ball.
Oh god.
I came out of it completely unscathed. I was like, yeah, I'm all good.
I was
Why
always-
are you crying?
I'm not risking my life to get this ball.
I was often put in defence. I liked playing defence purely because all the good players would be up on the upper
times I
end
got hit, but I was like, you know what?
trying to score.
I
But
can take this.
basically, like 80% of the people or the sporty kids from my school were all my cousin's mates, and they went to his primary school, and they had like a football like club they all went to, so they all trained the same. So then when it came to secondary school, I was able to basically tackle and get the ball off all of them because I knew all their techniques having played football against my cousin. So they do this trick where they try to like pretend like they're passing it, and then they spin round the other way. And I'd know that, and I'd pretend to go off that way, and then I'd stick my foot out and then just
Yeah. You just try like you're just there like kicking their feet.
Yeah.
Like, just give me it.
So, and they would just be like, yeah, and again, they do like, what, mate? They take it like a personal attack. Like, you tackle the ball, and they treat you as if you just
It wasn't like I didn't
spilled
like
their
actually-
alcohol on a night out.
Yeah.
Like, what have you done, mate? Well, and it's
Like
this
I
is
didn't
realise the
actually.
game you're playing.
You know, I didn't like go like, alright, and then let them like
Mate, I didn't
trip
like-
over my leg.
I didn't kick you in the shins. Like, calm down, man.
I'd
Yeah.
rather keep my legs than say like get a ball. Like I don't care enough about your imaginary
I mean,
score.
it's cool when you successfully take like, oh my god,
My
I'm
trouble
not
was
dead.
I was
yeah,
I was
that never
always-
happens though.
Well,
I was always forced in goal. I hated being in goal. I was put in
I-
goal
goal was-
until I got good at it. That was it.
goal was like target practice.
Yeah, there was
Or like
always
just an
that.
execution, like oh.
It's like playing
just bring on the
dodgeball.
death.
There was always that one guy who was
Oh,
like
no.
built like he looked like Wreck-It Ralph, and he'd come at you, and he would try and pout the ball 2 feet in front of your face at 30 miles an hour, and I'm like, I'm not getting a concussion. I'm not having a
I'm not a
ball-shaped
concussion.
hole in my chest go through me to save this goal. So I'll just like step aside. I'm like, here you go, mate. And he'd like kick it into the goal, and then he'd like rebound all the way to the middle of the field, and he'd like go. And
Remember-
let the goal in. First of all, I'm not risking my face to save over a PE lesson. Second of all, it's your job to make sure the ball doesn't get this far. What are you
That's a
doing?
really good
point.
You did this.
Why is it down here in the first place? You're going to keep it up their side.
You're not doing your
I'm
job
meant to be
right.
last line of defence, not defence.
You know what would be funny is you just grab the ball, run over to the other goal, and just throw it into that one.
You realise there's a box, right?
Yeah.
Oh
well.
There's a box that if
what's
you
that
go
gonna-
outside of that
What's
box
that gonna
holding
do?
the ball,
no,
it's
there's
a free
box.
kick.
What am I gonna do? Oh, step over the line.
If you step over the line holding the ball, it's a free kick to them.
Nah, run over.
Not if you're fast enough.
You know you're allowed to, when you throw in, you're allowed to hold the ball.
Fast as fuck.
So you run all the way round on the outline, and then you kind of do like you throw it in from the side.
Ah.
Oh,
The first
dear.
time I successfully tackled someone, he was probably 3 times the size of me, and yeah, it was like there's the goal, and there's where we were about to make contact, and
One
I
step
was,
for man.
One
and
giant
I was
leap for man.
thinking, how am I going to do this? I don't think I coordinated this properly, but I was like, oh, hell with it. So I just like ran like in front across like that, and somehow managed to like not trip over or just die.
Not
It's
die
like,
yet.
you know, in cars, when
The
you're trying to
train's
beat
coming,
the
and he has to jump over to get the football off the guy.
and then I was like, damn, I'm
Yeah, man.
I'm not dead.
Damn, I love myself.
And then after that, it all went downhill.
What, life or the ball? Did it just start slowly
You
going
were playing
down?
on a hill and it just started rolling down.
Got its own goal. Don't know which team that scores.
Did any
for.
of you do indoor football?
No.
Well, that was, oh my god, it was a war zone. Basically, just normal football in like.
But
indoor.
inside,
Yeah, and
there's
you
no
wouldn't-
free kicks, it just rebounds off the wall.
It was terrifying because you wouldn't have shoes or shin pads on.
You got shin pads?
Just
Look at this rich
Barefoot.
and privileged Cheltenham bugger. We
Meanwhile,
got shin
there's-
pads to play football.
there are
We got
footballs.
socks.
We got bruises.
we got blood, sweat, and bruises.
We lost bones to this. And they'd been kicking
I got
at,
concussion game
3 times the speed of sound, and they were just making this terrifying slam on the wall.
Like when someone decides in dodgeball to throw it at 90 miles an hour. But they're not even aiming for you, they're aiming to hit the back wall so they will rebound so they can catch it again so they can have another go. That's all they ever did. Dodgeball was a nightmare. You guys play dodgeball?
Yeah,
I wish we played dodgeball.
You
We
never
did.
played it.
No, closest we got was
boring was your secondary school.
It was so boring. It was so
just
boring. We had to do stuff we weren't meant to make it fun.
Every time, like a PE teacher's gone, so supply teacher's in. What do we do? Dodgeball. It's raining. Dodgeball.
No,
we played it with the girls. We played like both teams, so it was like a mixture of the girls and the boys. Instead of because usually in PE classes it's separated, so the girls do their
Yeah.
But like sometimes we just have the girls and the boys in the same lesson.
Yeah.
We played Welsh dodgeball.
What's the difference?
So we had a teacher and he was Welsh.
Rocks.
And what he did is
Did he use
made-
sheep?
he always went, alright, so today we're playing Welsh tennis. Or today we're playing Welsh football. The only
It's like regular football,
Yeah.
but we're depressed.
so, like with Welsh tennis, it was tennis, but there's 3 people per side instead of having 2 or 4 or 1.
That's not Welsh, that's insane.
Yeah, it's just 3 people per. That was the only difference. Welsh dodgeball was actually really interesting. So we had a line in the middle to separate into. It was separated into 4s. The whole hall was separated into 4s. So you had a split in the middle, and then you had the middle bit was split into 2 again. So you'd be in the 2 inner bits, and that's where the 2 sides were.
Yeah.
So then, if you obviously regular dodgeball rules, and then when you get hit, if you're out, what you do is you go to the behind the opposite team.
Yeah.
So then you can have these tricks where your team can throw it across the enemy team to you, and then you can strike them from behind.
Oh yeah.
And they called that the teacher called that Welsh dodgeball. So obviously at the beginning of the game you just have to focus on the people in front of you. But then the more people you get out, then the more people you have to worry about. And basically if you got all of the opposite onto behind you, then you win the game. But as the game goes on, it gets really more difficult. And it was really interesting and really much fun.
Yeah.
But the teacher just added a new rule and slapped the Welsh in front of a regular name.
Cricket. I hate cricket.
Tell us your cricket story.
We just didn't bother playing. Like there was one time where some of them on our team got so angry as well.
They
Because
always
the 3 of us would just be like sitting in front where you have to like run across to each post. Like, nah, not doing this.
I was good at cricket. I actually enjoyed it. I was good at bowling and hitting. And I made
Fielders being a fielder's horrible.
Oh, we just spent our time talking and then we get told off for talking.
you just stand
you
there
get told
and
off
then
for
maybe
running.
the ball like it was like the third base was the best place to go because you do nothing. Because everyone in rounders, everyone throws to the first base because that's the quickest way to get out. And then the second base, obviously, to get them out again. But
What was that?
when they get past the second base, what they
Spider-Man.
used to do is they used to just aim straight for fourth base.
Steady.
So nobody ever bothered trying to get third base. So no one ever passed it. So whenever you were on, everyone tried to go to third base to be the defender, just so they could do nothing the entire day.
Oh, that's brilliant.
It was. I liked just standing there doing nothing.
Nah, fielder's job was the worst because, I mean, it was. Because the problem is,
Yeah.
like, they'd hit it, and you're like, yeah, I'm never going to catch that. So you have to run. They shout at you for running. They're like, okay, throw it back. No, I won't be able to throw it. It won't reach you yet. So I have to run again. They're like, just throw it. I'm like, yeah, okay. it doesn't reach them. Then they shout at me some
You throw
more.
it and then it just falls onto the floor.
Just drop it.
I mean, we our entertainment usually came from like changing rooms and stuff, where it was literally these people just always just arguing or something. This one guy, he was a real piece of work.
Oh.
He was so he he starts this thing with some guy, starts like really pathetically like trying to punch him, and then he starts squealing. Like, he's meant to be like the top sort of like, you know, like dealer of the school, like proper roadman type shit. He starts squealing, shouts, "Don't touch my ting!" at the top of his voice.
Hey man, don't touch my thing!
Hey man. And then this other kid, he's learned karate, so obviously this guy has no chance. So then eventually just leaves. At one point we had it so this one guy, he doesn't even deserve a name. He was absolutely dreadful. So me and my mate, we go into his bag, get his water, pour all the water into his bag, then find a place to... Trust me, he was a really bad person. Like, he was really bad. Then he like, oh, this was awful. Spat in his shoes.
Oh no!
He spat in his shoes.
Like his PE shoes or his regular school shoes?
His regular school shoes. Like, we were like the last people to get changed, so everyone was gone. And then he just messes around with this guy's stuff, pours all the stuff out of the bag, then throws the bag all the way over on the other side of the room, like behind all these mattresses, so it can't be found. Then I think he hides one of the shoes. He just completely messed around with this guy's stuff. And again, I'm not gonna go, but he genuinely did deserve that. But those were some of the best days. I remember just getting stuck behind the mattresses at one point. There was this. I was friends with this one person who was with their group. They were all in the year above. They didn't even do PE anymore, but they end up getting into the gym. The way the gym works is there's like a balcony,
Right.
and that's where like we would usually get changed, and then underneath it is this like sports hall type thing.
Yeah.
What they did is they got one of the mats from the balcony and threw it down to the floor
sports hall.
into the sports hall, and then they all took turns jumping off the balcony onto the mat.
My
And
how high was this balcony?
oh, it was pretty high. It was like I'm trying to think. Like, it was taller than like the second story here. Like
There, at least 2 stories then.
pretty much like maybe story and a half.
Story
By
line.
to your legs.
Yeah, I don't know. Like they what they had to do was they locked the sports hall door and then had to sneak back up whenever they got down, because they were just not allowed to do that. I don't know how they didn't get kicked out. Eventually, he did get kicked out, but he got kicked out for rubbing bread in someone's hair. That was that was weird. That was a weird time.
Oh my! But not for endangering so many students' lives by making them jump off a balcony onto a very thin mat.
No, he was the first one to jump onto the balcony. I'll tell you that now.
But still.
He goes out of the sixth form. He goes now, and he was someone who he tried to climb the wall at Glasgow. You know, the big walls behind the smoking area. He just tried to climb that
Oh,
area.
so like the stairs going up into the, and then you got the sort of, is it like by the ruins?
Yeah, the ruins.
Yeah,
That's what I mean. Like he just tried to climb the ruins.
We had to climb the ruins.
Did
in
you?
order- So there's like a little, like,
Did we?
yeah. You had to climb up onto the ruins to record your fight
yeah.
scene. Because they were doing a sword fight out there.
Oh,
We
yeah.
needed a good camera shot, so we climbed up there to record it. And then we got to climb up to sit there for another shot. to make him look high up.
How easy was it to climb up there?
Well, we didn't climb like all the way to the top, but like those little perch bits.
Oh yeah,
We
yeah,
climbed
yeah.
onto those.
Oh yeah, there's a set.
Wasn't
No,
that
no.
hard,
This guy tried to full on climb to that. He didn't
Very
manage.
top.
He didn't manage to make it, but he made it pretty far up.
I'm gonna have to write that down as something I want to do.
Yeah, yeah. No, I mean he was completely insane. I don't really talk to him anymore. But what other stuff? So
Every time I went into the gym at our school, the only thing I ever did, purely because no one else used them, is the rowing machines.
oh yeah, it was the same.
That was it. I spent like 45 minutes on the rowing machines every time.
Cardio, good for.
And I would suffer for it because like
Good for back pain or causing it.
I'd put it on like the hardest difficulty and then I'd do it for 45 minutes until I got like blisters on each finger, all on my hands, on both hands. I'm trying to write like that. Just, like, every single thing was
we'd always use the rowing machines, but right next to the rowing machines was the punching bag.
What?
Yeah.
Punching bag.
Yeah, we had a punching bag.
Yeah, punching bag?
Yeah, no, we were cool like that. So then you'd have some kid on the rowing machine like next to us, and then it would just you'd hit the punching bag.
They would hit
The
you
guy would
as
just
you're
get
rowing.
just knocked off the rowing machine.
It was like expertly timed, so like as they went back, the punching bag flew across, and then it flew back.
It was
and then
like
he
Crossy
leaned
Road.
and then he leaned forward, and then he leaned back, and then the punching bag comes across
No, the
again.
thing is, because all the rowing machines were next to each other, one person gets hit by that, the
Dominoes.
rest get dominoes.
That's right.
At one point, this one.
Whose idea? Like, I feel like the head teacher like really hated people. I was like, do you know what's funny? We'll put the place in.
Oh yeah, no,
Alright,
he
so
did.
we're thinking about putting the punching bag in the corner for safety. You know what? Put it right next to the rowing machine, right? Because if someone punches this direction, it would do a chain domino effect.
And it would be really funny. You know what? That would be that is quite funny. I'll do that. But there was this one kid who was like also complete. Everyone in that PE group was completely insane. But you'd have these
School
like
did you go to again? Everyone there just was like insane.
Frightmare School. No, but he was he was getting like pestered by the wannabe roadmen who would like take the out of everyone just for the sake of it. So then I don't know why they pester him while he's on the boxing while he's boxing. So he takes off the gloves and starts just beating this guy up. He just like well on starts on him. And then I don't understand what this guy's tactic was, but the guy pestering him just tried to like grab his collar and like lift it up. But the other guy just wasn't having it. He just punched him in the face, and then they were like, "Oh yeah, good fight," and they shook hands on it like afterwards. But this I haven't really gone in the order of what happened in the events. But what made me really realise my PE teacher was also completely and utterly psychotic. We finally got our turn on the trampolines, and we were taught how to do safety, like safely open up these trampolines. These kids didn't pay attention to it, and they dropped the trampoline as they're lifting up. This PE teacher, he shouts, "What the hell? What the hell?" and slams his iPad into the ground, like full of throws his iPad across the hall. Shouts, "What the hell? What the hell?" I was on the other side of the hall to him. I'm sat on a bench. This iPad comes smashed all the way to where I was, like right next to me.
Sliding across,
A trail of glass following it. This guy's shouting at them all. He's got this like trainee teacher who like he's just come here to be like do his work experience. Poor guy was like scared as hell. He's just witnessed it. After he's finished shouting at everyone, he goes over and looks at the iPad, picks it up and goes, "Oh yeah, that's broken. That's not working."
Really? You don't say.
And everyone afterwards was just like, oh, how's he going to play Candy Crush now? His Angry Birds save's gone. He's the same guy who gave you detention for not having white socks. Yeah, I got a full on like lunchtime for it. And I didn't even need to turn up that weekend. He said it for the Monday after, and I thought he said it for the Friday.
Yeah.
So I went on the Friday. That very Friday, he like that weekend he broke his like leg or something. So he didn't even turn up on the Monday. So I didn't need to turn up, but I did anyway. For white socks, I was talking to the teacher. I was like, "Oh yeah, I did bring my white socks." They were like, "Oh." You can go in 5 minutes. I was like, oh, okay. Yeah, no, that was an experience and a half.
So what is everyone's like favourite sport? When I say favourite, I mean least hated sport.
Ping-pong.
Table tennis.
Yeah,
Yes.
absolutely.
I love table tennis.
This is coming from a motorsport fan.
It's not a sport, it's even a sport.
Yeah.
Like, people say like...
Because drivers are athletes.
Yeah, but how are they athletes? Like, they say NASCAR racing is a sport because
It's because...
when they're driving, they're feeling like they're going like 40 miles an hour. Like.
But then you got to think about all the turbulence going through each car and...
Yeah, but like, I would just consider that like a driver.
No,
he's no
because
better than the taxi guy who brings me home.
The thing
night
about
out.
it, because they're doing it for about up to 4.5 hours,
Yeah.
and also with like Formula 1, when you're going through 5G, through...
Yeah, I understand it's probably straining on your
Yeah.
body, and I understand that, yeah, again, it's 4 hours of driving.
And it's like...
And it does take a lot of skill to be a professional racing driver. I get
Yeah.
that, but I wouldn't class it I don't class it as a sport because I feel like a sport is like something physically active. Like yes, he's doing it for 4 hours, but again, he sat down for 4 hours turning a wheel. You can do that on the PlayStation playing GTA. You know.
Try playing a game with the force feedback on, because this is for like... You can do this for like Formula 1 games and like Gran Turismo, and it literally shows you what it's like in real life. So you try and hold the wheel still, and it'll just start shaking around violently.
GTA, man.
It's
like,
honestly it's so much more physical
like,
than
why
people
are like
imagine.
all the roads
Racing.
on GTA like ice? I
Not
played it.
really.
Yeah, I tried doing a turn, and you like skid off, and like
You need
skid
control.
off into the other one. And why is there no? There is brake, and then there's 500 miles an hour. Why is there no medium speed? Can I just drive at like a normal speed? You can't. Why is there no?
Yeah, you can.
No, you can't.
I can.
I can't. I pull down the trigger, and then it just goes 15, 70 miles an hour, and I'm just like, why can't I just drive at a
Doesn't even
nice
feel
20?
that fast on there.
Why can't I just obey the laws in GTA?
Yeah, why can't I go play GTA without breaking the rules, you know? Why can't I find a job, find a nice wife, settle down? That's why I play GTA.
That's the best way to play.
that's why everyone.
But,
Right.
This is kind of related to sports.
Right.
It was a maths lesson though.
That's
And
You hyperventilate in maths. That counts. It counts.
it's
But
a sport. Luke.
I think the teacher was like, think of sports stars or etc. Who've won multiple things or whatever. They all said like football people or like athletes, and I just brought up like a Formula 1 driver. Like, yeah, Ayrton Senna, probably the best sportsman ever. Like, nobody knew who he was apart from me and the teacher. Like,
I don't even know though.
he's a
Formula
he was a
1.
Formula 1 driver in the 80s and 90s.
Alright. So your favourite sport is Formula 1?
Yes.
Cool. And yours is table
I
tennis?
Yeah.
Did you ever do the round the world?
Oh, is that where
We
you
did
like?
that with badminton.
Badminton.
Yeah.
It's where you like you play against someone and then you move to the next table or something. Like,
Oh, what we did is we had like 4 of us, so 2 on either side and then 2 on the other, like 2 on the long side, like where you were in the match,
yeah.
and 2 on the other. So one person would hit the ball, and then he'd have to run round to the middle, and then the person in the middle runs around to the other side, and the person on the other side, he hits it, so that by the time it gets back, the person that was like in the middle is now on the other side, and you have to make it round the you have to keep running round the table
Yeah.
while the ball is going back and forth.
My
And then-
brain's completely disconnected here.
So, so if I was playing, I would serve the ball, I would hit it. I'd hit it, so now that I've hit it, I run it round to the middle of the table on, say, the right side. And
Okay.
then someone else runs round to where I was standing, and then the person on the other side, they've hit the ball, then they run round, and then when the person here hits it, and then I have to run round to the opposite side of the table so I can hit it, and then so it's basically
You
table
had
tennis.
me at money.
So it's basically table tennis, but with 4 people, and you all run around in a circle.
Yeah.
We did that with badminton.
You did that with badminton.
Yeah.
How?
How do you run around in a badminton court? It's
Use
so much bigger.
everyone.
Everyone?
Everyone.
Everyone?
Everyone.
Everyone?
It's not that hard when you think about
With
it.
badminton, we took up like 2 whole courts. We had 15 per side. We had 3 shuttlecocks playing. Some people were dual wielding badminton rackets. General Grievous style. There were people, personally was doing the Wii Sports tennis. Like waving my racket around. It was, and we all named each other ourselves after a country.
We used
So
to.
I was Switzerland.
We used to play tennis.
I haven't
Just-
done it.
Just regular tennis, but
Just regular, not Welsh tennis.
yeah.
Not the
But
Swiss
every
accent.
time we play tennis, we'd always get this one kid who, I'm gonna have to say it again, he was he was awful.
Just
Um,
crazy.
so he'd come to us, he'd then complain if we didn't hit the ball correctly, and then proceed to hit the ball onto the roof.
Was he like a tennis nerd that couldn't play tennis?
Yeah, basically.
Actually, guys, you
Actually.
need to serve it from the second back
So
line.
what we'd end up doing,
And you have to serve it to the opposite side of the court. That's a false.
it
I
was
don't know
like,
why. I'm picturing this guy with like those like brown glasses.
yeah, no, but we'd always go and play, and then we'd be like, oh yeah, mate, sorry, we want to just have our own group here, and he's like, yeah, okay, that's fine, and then he'd find a way to make it onto our court somehow and join one of our teams. So in
So
the
like,
end,
the ball would come near him while he's on the other side. He would hit it back, and then he's like suddenly in the game.
yeah, genuinely, that's actually how it would happen. So what we had to do in the end, we were like, all right, we're gonna hit the ball out of bounds and make him go collect the ball. So
You just gave him the ball collector, and you
Yeah.
purposely hit it out of bounds.
yeah, so we hit it out of bounds, wait for him to run far enough, and then bring out another ball and just start playing. And then you get to the other side and be like, ah, and just run back. And we used to complain about him all the time, but at one point I really off someone because I was complaining about him. And then they also started agreeing like 5 minutes later. They just started agreeing with all my points. But we had some weird experiences with tennis because we
Why is
thought,
everyone in your school crazy?
oh, I don't know, I really don't. I went to some party the other night
Were the
with like,
teachers the drug dealers serving up the mouth?
yeah,
Like,
genuinely
one person crazy in your school, okay. 2 people, wow. But everyone?
everyone,
Everyone?
genuinely.
How many more are there?
Everyone?
I broke all the tennis rackets. Not on pure blind rage, of course, not like bang, but
No, just general rage. That's
just
strong.
like I think I did it with both hands, like I'm
Like
just
you
gonna-
were swinging a lightsaber.
I'm just gonna bat it to hell.
Like baseball.
And
bat.
then it was a very hard hit as well. I was like, ooh, that didn't feel right. And I just look and so like
The racket
the top
part.
of the handle.
So you got the handle and then you got the racket.
Yeah, like in between there, it's just snapped. Like, oh. Well, I'll put it now back. I didn't tell the teachers that.
Just put it back in the bag.
What do you want me to do with
No
it?
one will know.
Nobody.
That's what people would do with tennis balls, where they just hit them as hard as they can. No, the insane person would do this. He'd hit it as hard as he can. It would end up on a roof and be like, "Oh yeah, no, that didn't happen." We'd be like, "Okay."
I had a friend who lived in the apartments right next to the school, and they just come home and find a bunch of tennis balls. The tennis courts were right next to the apartments, so people would hit it over the gates into the people's gardens. So my friend was like, "I just go home and just collect up all these tennis balls. I don't know what to do."
Actually,
They can make a fortune with that.
It's like thousands of school tennis balls. They sell them back to the school, £5 per ball.
It's genius.
I remember I played, we played tennis and someone hit it over and I had to go grab it. Like, we had 2 tennis courts
Yeah.
and so I grabbed the ball and then I was like running back and somehow I tripped. And don't know how, but I tripped and I got back up, started playing tennis. Like 10 minutes later, someone went, "Jamie, why is your leg red?" I looked down, just like a massive cut in my knee, and my whole leg just covered in blood. I did not, because it was so cold, I did not feel it. So my whole leg was just like red. And I was
Wow.
like, oh, that's not
that
good.
happened.
So I walked back and the teacher was like, "Jamie, what were you
Get inside
doing?"
now.
You were like, "Jamie, you're meant to be playing tennis. What were you doing?"
I was playing rugby.
Oh, sorry, sir.
I remember having
Someone hit my knee with the tennis ball.
I remember having to be the person to collect the tennis ball. I go all the way around, and I see where the tennis ball is. I reach in, I take my hand out, and I'm like, "Oh, those were stinging nettles.
Oh.
Those hurt."
Oh.
So I think my hand was still in there when I realised. I was like, "Huh,
Well.
goodbye." Let me take the ball out. I'm like, everyone's watching me like, "No, Sully, why'd you do that?" I was like, "Oh,
I can't feel my hand.
Oh, soul for a soul." They throw the ball back. About 2 minutes later, it's back in the stinging nettles.
Who's going this time?
I'm not doing this time.
Well, this hand's already cursed.
Now that I think about it,
Yeah.
favourite sport, I like watching the gymnastics in the Olympics.
Yeah, that's
Also,
another.
I wish I was better at gymnastics in school.
Hmm.
So,
Because sometimes
Yeah.
you're like trying to do somersault, like forward rolls, and I absolutely just fall on my face.
you can do a cartwheel though. I've seen you do
Yeah.
a cartwheel.
Yeah, I remember those weird they were like handstands, but where you were like in a turtle shape. I don't know how to put it.
Is it like, so you're like on your hands and knees, but backwards, so your chest is in the air?
No, I don't know how to explain it. But you relied purely on your hands, and you were like in a tucked position, and then you'd lift your feet off the ground. You'd be held up by just like these hands.
So, what? So like that? But
yeah,
with your
but
head off the ground.
insane. I remember being really good at it, and I got so confident I took it off the mat. And the moment I took it off the mat, my face slams into the ground. I'm bleeding. This was like primary school as well. Like I was full of like crying at that point. I was like, oh. And the teacher wasn't helping. He was like, "That's why you do it correctly next time." I was like,
no,
dude.
I can't go see the news. It's just like, that's why you don't go off the mat.
But those primary school PE lessons were also brilliant because I love the I don't know if you guys did it, but you'd climb the rope.
Yeah. Oh, the apparatus.
Yeah.
Never
Oh.
used that.
You never used the legendary apparatus.
No.
Like, my school stopped using it after we left. So we were the last students to ever use the apparatus.
It happened for mine as well.
Yeah.
But I used to climb up that rope as fast as I could. I ended up like using 2 ropes trying to climb up like that. Tried climbing it without wrapping my legs around it. I was sick at it.
Yeah, I didn't know how to do with my legs, so I would just grab onto it with just my arms and pull myself up to the top using just my arms, while my legs are just dangling there. I don't know how I did that as a kid because I can't do that now.
Yeah.
I don't have that much upper body strength.
I remember this one person trying to use 2 ropes to climb up, and they were trying to do that, and then they get towards the top, and they just fall. Sorry, they just fall.
They just let go and.
They just let go for some reason.
You slide down and you get rope burn.
Oh yeah, I got that all the time. But this time they just fell onto the mat and they were just crying. I was like, next to them climbing up like perfectly and back down ringing the bell.
Oh man, the apparatus. Did you I don't know if anyone ever did this, but my primary school we had swimming lessons.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Did you guys have swimming lessons?
That's where I met.
Legendary. Yeah, it was like, why?
You were learning to swim, I guess, but I never learned to swim.
I learned to swim. I'm still not good at it.
Bottom group.
Yeah, I was bottom group, and I worked. I was like, because I was terrible. I'm like the worst swimmer in my family as well, and I was just like, I want to be good at swimming. So that when we go on those family swim trips, as we do on Sundays...
When we go on those family drowning sessions, I'll be the last one.
My dad used to be like, you can... My dad used to go, alright, we can go to church, and then the next week we go swimming, and then the next week we go to church, and then the next week we go swimming. So it was like, I need to be good, so that I can swim. And I tried so hard. I was really good at my back, but my front... I'm not sure if you know this, but you can't breathe underwater.
Really?
And I did not.
I found that out the tough way.
I could not handle that. It was because I always kept taking in water and just breathing it in and then choking it out.
What was worse was when you did the dolphin.
Oh, and you did.
Yeah. You did not breathe during that. They were like, go up to the surface and breathe. That's not breathing, that's hyperventilating.
The worst thing was, obviously I was at the bottom set, and they went, alright, we're going to the deep end. And I was like, what?
That's
deep
the
end,
ocean.
where it's twice your body height. And they went, okay, we're going to be learning how to tread water. So, I want you to all let go of the bars. And I'm like, no, I'm not letting go. Oh my
I don't want to go, Mr. Stark.
And then they're like, alright, tread water. So, you have to push down with your arms and then kick with your legs.
What?
So, how they did it, so you're having a toddler, you're having a paddy, kick your feet up and down, and have your hands flat facing the ground, and then push them up and down. And that's
not treading water, that's drowning.
That's how I was taught to tread water.
That's a panic
So that's
attack.
what I do when I tread water, I just do that. And it works, somewhat, it's very tiring, but it works. But the first time I did it, they went, alright, Jamie, let go. And I let go. And I sank like a rock straight to the bottom. And I could not swim. So I just stood under the water, just stood there like, this is how I drown. This is how I die.
That's my fate.
I can just imagine you saluting.
Salute as I slowly get submerged. My friend who was a good swimmer, they stretched their hand out, and I kind of kicked myself at the top, reached my hand out, and then they pulled me up. And then you're like, alright, Jamie, you ready to do it again? You're like, no, I'm not ready to do this again. One thing they didn't teach us was how to dive, and I'm really sad about that.
I've been middle group, and that's deep enough for me.
Yeah, I was always bottom set, and
if I'm on my tippy toes, nah.
We did swimming for 2 years, and I managed to. I was really good, and I was like, yes, I'm good enough to get into top set swimming finally. And they went, no. I was like, what? Because if you go, then I'm not gonna have anything to do. So there was 6 of us who were meant to be in the next group level that just weren't allowed to move up because of this one teacher. Because they wouldn't have anyone to teach. And I was just like, but it looks bad.
But hey, I got my swimming certificate. Thing is, I got my, I did that, and then I had swimming lessons afterwards.
Right.
But I was a bit older then, and all the swimming lessons were children, like proper, just like pure children. I was like, oh, this is the most humiliating thing I've ever experienced. What's the worst part is when when like the dads take their younger daughters to the swimming, but they have to use the men's changing room.
Yeah.
I was getting changed one day, and as I'm like taking this off, this girl looks at me and goes, "Daddy, look!" as I'm trying to get changed, and I was like, "Oh no, stop!"
What you saying is you flashed an 8-year-old.
No, I didn't just. They entered as I was getting
That's
undressed.
just bad timing.
It was so bad. Oh, it was so bad. It was like,
The change rooms are so weird.
I hate.
Swimming
Why
lessons.
did they have to be open changing rooms?
Yeah, it's like
Oh no, I was very close.
no. We didn't get like separate departments or whatnot.
What?
We got. It was a changing room, and obviously it's like curves around, so you can't like look in, and it was just benches along the side. That was it.
Oh,
You pick a leg from the. Think PE changing rooms. That was our swimming changing rooms.
Oh yeah, that
So
was
you-
ours as well.
yeah.
I thought you meant like outdoors.
We had to get changed outdoors, and it was. The thing is, our swimming thing was on a. It was on a all girls school campus thing.
Oh
So
yeah.
we had to, as these little primary schools, it was secondary school, all girls secondary.
Yeah.
So we had to go across the road to the all. So if we were changing outside, like you suggested,
Is that? Oh god, no, it's awful.
Also, our school, it was the when you had to get changed to leave. It was the worst because they'd have like house points to whoever.
house points. Did you go to Gryffindor? You went to Hogwarts?
Yes.
They don't teach spells there. They teach swimming too.
Basically, they'd have like
Yeah.
a reward for whoever is ready first. So it would always be a race to
Yeah.
see who would get
We'd always be.
ready first.
We would always be the first one changed. Yeah, but it's like when you're in class after and like your hair's still wet, and then like, I don't know why, but throughout the entire runtime of my primary school, they sat everyone boy girl. That was
Oh,
the
yeah.
seating plan on every table, every single year from like reception all the way up to year 6. And obviously, right after swimming, you'll be a girl, and you'll be like, they turn to their friend, and it's like, hey, do you have a pencil? And then their wet hair would just like, slap you across the face. And he's like, oh, thank you. And like, they're dripping water onto the desk, and you have to like dry it with your sleeve, and it's, oh, thanks.
I didn't
No.
realise Ariel was my past.
The problem they had in one of my English classes was like everyone was talking too much. So then he was like, "Oh yeah, we're gonna reorganize it, boy girl." But that just meant everyone talked over each other.
Yeah.
So then you'd have two conversations going on on either side of the table. So I'd be like, "Yo, Derek, you alright, mate?" And then it would just be these like two
So
people
the two girls
also
are trying to
talking.
talk over the guy, and then the guy is
Yeah, it really didn't work, and then
You solved
COVID
nothing.
happened, so it didn't actually like play out, and then we had to listen to Of Mice and Men like during all of
You
this.
listened to it.
Yeah, this guy recited it to us. He was like,
We
yeah,
watched the film, we read the book.
yeah, no, we we were just there listening to this guy, and you always
discover Audible.
you always get the teachers that are like, oh, now there's a word in this book that I probably should. I'm not gonna say. Although I don't want to say, but I'm going to have to say it for the sake of reading it. And then they say it with such enthusiasm as they're reading it. It's like, what? Are you sure you didn't want to say that?
I think I said this in the I said it in the. I think I said it in the school stories one.
Yeah.
But I full on said the N word.
Oh,
I did.
no.
It was back. We were doing like it was like the futures class, and we were learning about like Black History Month. And,
Yeah.
And we were told to read out these textbooks, and there was a word. I didn't know what it meant or what it was, and so I just went, and the guy said, and then I said it, not knowing what it meant, childhood innocent, because, you know, I don't Google on the internet, what does this racist word mean?
Yeah, no, I don't know why they expected children to know
And then
what that means.
the whole class kind of turned to me and was like, and I was like, what? And then the teacher was just like, all right, time to explain the N-word. It was just like, oh.
It's N-word time, kids! Chop chop!
Anyway, I don't know how we got that from sports.
It's turned into an English lesson.
Yeah.
Anyway, so...
I've got a call from, so should I just answer it on here right now? should I just stop?
Answer the call. This won't make it.
Since you've been gone. Shall I?
You're on a podcast right now.
Hey, welcome to this podcast.
We're
We're talking about sports. Tell us something about sports.
Yeah, what's your favourite thing about sports?
When I don't watch it.
You know,
Agreed.
he's made a really good point there.
Well done. Going back to what you said, Matt, earlier about watching the Olympics. Do you guys watch the Olympics?
No.
I don't. But why?
Yeah, I enjoy it. I would mostly watch the swimming, athletics, fencing, gymnastics, and the BMXing was pretty cool as well.
I don't like playing sports, so it's like, why would I want to watch other people play sport? Like, watching it live, I find is very different to watching it on just the TV. Because I've actually watched, rugby live matches, and it's actually like, because of the atmosphere, it's like sort of like going to the cinema. You know, it's better to watch it at the cinema because of the atmosphere and whatnot. But like, so when you're watching a rugby match live, and you got the whole atmosphere and you got the crowd yelling, it's actually really enjoyable. But then my dad would be like, "Hey, the rugby's on the TV," and I'm like, "I don't care.
Yeah.
I don't care," because it's just watching a bunch of people. Like, I don't know.
I've
like-
never enjoyed it at all. I
It's
don't
like
know.
FIFA. I don't understand FIFA. Why are there so many FIFA games?
Yeah.
Because I asked my cousin this because he gets all the FIFA games. He's got every single one. And yeah, I asked him, why are you getting the new FIFA game? What's different? And he's like, oh, the players are different. Yeah, but is there any like new mechanics to the game? No, it's exactly the same.
First person.
It's exactly the same. And then
Ronaldo gets a gun.
He was just like, it's like, is there
Ronaldo's
anything?
revenge.
There's nothing like, the game is not changed. It's not like you're doing a VR football. But and I was like,
Nah,
why
I think
do
they
you
should-
get the new FIFA game? And he literally said the only reason he gets the new FIFA game is because one of his mates buys the new FIFA game, and they're not backwards compatible. So all the mates then have to buy the brand new FIFA game so that they can all play together. But what he gets really is that his friends and all of him and himself, they all love football. They love to play football. They all live in the same area. He's got brothers that like to play football. And I'm just thinking, why don't you go out? You've got a football. Go out and play football instead of playing it on a console.
Okay, boomer.
Yeah. You get my point though.
Yeah.
That's actually
I
genius.
think
Yeah.
what they should do with FIFA is they should have melee weapons that you pick up.
And then you get
Just a baseball bat.
Have you seen the new Nintendo Switch sports?
Yeah, I like it. We can play as the Mii's.
You can play as the Mii's actually.
Oh, okay. I'll get it.
You can, because we thought, oh, you can't play as the Mii's, and then we bought it, and it was like, would you like to be a Mii character?
Yes,
or a brand
please.
new different character? So it's like a weird Mii character, but it doesn't look like a Mii, or you can have your actual Mii character. And we're like, yes,
Okay.
I can have a Mii character. But yeah, they've actually got a football on there, and it was a mixture between FIFA and Rocket League. And so you're in this like giant like dome type thing, like a football, but obviously you can like bounce off the walls and like there's no free kicks, and the ball is like 8 times the size of the character, and the goal is the size of a building, and you've got motion control, so you can like jump and hit it, and you can do headers, and it's actually quite enjoyable.
Oh yeah.
For someone who does like, I don't like football games, I don't like sport games, but I actually found that quite enjoyable.
Wow, fair enough, yeah. I just
All I
hate sports.
do on well, the first time I played FIFA was just trying to see how many people I could give a red card to.
He just tackled everyone. Just spammed the slide.
See how many people can get out. Yeah.
I remember playing it at my cousin's house after playing Skate 3, and he's like, "Oh, no, Solly, you should check out this game." So he puts on FIFA and starts playing it, and I'm like, I was enjoying Skate 3. Why have you just put on FIFA?
I discovered, right, so when I play Wii bowling, so I line it up perfectly straight, right, and then I bowl.
Yeah.
And then the bowling will go straight, and then it reaches the pin, and then it just takes like a wild left turn and hits.
It's like the cheese with a knife.
It's like a magnet, and there's like an anti-magnet, like if the same poles are touching you attract. So it just goes psych, and then it hits more. And I was like, why does it? So every time I have to like go all the way to the right, and it goes all the way to the right, and then it would just curve into the middle, and I get a strike. And I was like, why does it do that? And then I went bowling with my college mates. Matt, you were obviously there. And it's not just on the Wii. I bowled in real life and it went straight, and then right at the end it curved off and went left. And I'm like, am I just cursed? Is there something wrong with my hand? What? How does it do that? The only sports game that's ever been good is Wii Sports.
I'm not even going to argue with that. That is true.